I think it's difficult to evaluate any role that civil society has had given the numerous and ongoing challenges that they face and the ongoing protection risks, ongoing violence. It's difficult for Syrian society to be able to address the impact of the crisis, but I think they're the core that is holding this response to the crisis together. It is Syrian civil society that is delivering aid on the ground. It is civil society that is Syrian civil society in particular that is able to reach vulnerable communities, able to get their needs across, able to bring those needs and those demands from the ground to any peace process. Even though the peace process itself has been, to say the least, the process has not been very successful, but Syrian civil society has been there consistently trying to push to make sure that the ongoing violence, the ongoing humanitarian and human rights violations are addressed. It's also Syrian civil society that continues to push that it's not just about a political settlement, but that we are also talking about the aspirations of the Syrian people. We're also talking about things such as freedom, transition, dignity. In one way, having had areas that were outside of regime control has allowed for different models of governance to develop in Syria. On another front, having the continuing violence has also hampered that effort to build inclusive, participatory models for on the ground. Having the regime now winning the military war, or almost close to regaining control of most of Syria, is definitely a loss for some of these models for building local participatory and inclusive governance. But it's also not the end of the battle of ideas, if you will, the work that continues to happen in local communities to represent Syrians and their views and to build more inclusive communities. It's important when we're discussing peace in Syria and peace building that we also discuss justice. And this is one of the issues that has been most difficult to talk about as we discuss the future of Syria. Many actors want to talk about stability, about reconstruction, but without addressing the heart of the conflict and the causes of it. If we do not talk about truth-telling, if we do not talk about the right of families of detainees and the missing to know the fate of their loved ones, if we do not talk about reparations for victims and different rights, then we cannot talk about peace building and we cannot talk about reconciliation or even reconstruction. So it's very important to discuss issues of justice in our discussions of peace building.